of fresh graduates in HR department in the banking industry. So this is one of the statistics that shows the factors contributing to the unemployment issues in Malaysia. This is the issues that we have done through our research. Fresh graduates lack of these skills and experience like communication skills, technological skills, lack of exposure to the real job market, and problem solving skills. Next, this is the summary of the issue that relates to the skills, lack of skills in the market. So communication skill is what fresh graduates are lack of now. According to the survey done by jobstreet.com, it is stated that nearly 70% of the employers think that the fresh graduates are lacking of quality, which is the communication skills. Then the employers in banking industry are looking for employees that have a strong communication skill. For example, the soft skill of communication includes the presentation in front of the client, skill of handling phone calls, emails, and etc. Next, I'll talk about the technological skills. According to the news in Business Times Singapore, the banking industry in Singapore is flexing muscle to recruit or employ fresh graduates. Next, the article is, according to the article, at a bank that were hiring, many vacancies were for sales, technology, and compliances roles. Then a spokeswoman in the article says that in Singapore, some of the areas we will be hiring for in this year include retail banking, as well as the key support functions such as technology, finance, risk, and others. But in particular, they stated that they are looking for data scientists, user experience designers, app developers, as well as people familiar with the technologies like cloud computing to support their digital initiatives. Next, this is the point that fresh graduates are lack of exposure to the real job market. According to one of the research that we have done, the industry is imposed upon students by educational system, which means students are more to learn in the classroom rather than they are exposed to the real job market. Social and cultural norms play a role in whether students are exposed to work in the working environment. Besides that, Malaysian students does not prepare to face the real job working environment, and in 60.14% of the current students and 88.71% of the graduated students that are lack of exposure that leads to unemployment. Then the graduate students feel that the current curriculum does not give a chance for students to get to know what is required in the job market in order for students to engage themselves in their future. Next, this is the problem solving skills where fresh graduates are lack of. According to a pay skills survey, 60% of the manager claims that the new graduates are taking jobs within the organization. They don't have critical thinking and problem solving skills, which the managers feel is very important for the company. Then the critical thinking, problem solving, attention to detail and writing and others, the managers find that these fresh graduates are missing this type of skill, and employers are less concerned with the highly specialized career skills which can be learned on the job, but they emphasize that graduates should have generic skills like problem solving. Next, I'll pass the presentation to Kimberly.
Now, I would like to explain the issues. The 4 issues is communication skills, technology skills, problem solving skills, lack of student exposure to the real job market. Back to communication skills, communication skill, meaning fresh graduates have difficulty in communicating with others, especially using English language. Next, technology skills that fresh graduates are not fully prepared with those skills when they are in the college. In addition, problem-solving skills, meaning fresh graduates are not fully trained to solve problems critically when issues arise. Moreover, lack of students' exposure to the real job market, meaning that fresh graduates find it difficult to adapt themselves to the working environment. Next, I would like to talk about the causes of communication skills, which means communication skills in education system. Fresh graduates or students are emphasized on memorizing the facts and figures. Then, graduates are not well trained in areas of specialization instead of their soft skills. Therefore, fresh graduates or students communicate by using their own dialects or language, such as Mandarin, Hokkien, Cantonese, by their own different culture. They talk about the communication in the workplace. Next, technology skills. The causes of technology skills is the area of the fresh graduate area of study is different, and they find out the failure on internal and external efficiency of educations. In addition, the causes of problem-solving skills is the teacher, because they focus on surface area understanding of the study matter, and teachers find it difficult to include thinking strategies in their current teaching style. Moreover, lack of student exposure to real job market is in university, as in education system is more on exam oriented, and university are prepare less career thought that related to their program. Next, I'll pass it to Irene.
So now I'll talk about the impacts that the fresh graduate lacks of the skill, like such as communication skills. The impact for fresh graduates is they will have poor performance in the interview session, like when the hiring manager they communicate, then the interviewee cannot communicate well back to the interviewer. Then they will remain unemployed because they failed in their interview. Next is the technological skills. Impact for fresh graduates is the mismatch of supply of fresh graduates, which means some fresh graduates they study different courses, but then they find different job in the real market. So these graduates will fail to meet the employer's expectation because since their area of study is different, so what they are doing is also different. And next, the problem-solving skills. When the fresh graduates lack of problem-solving skills, they are unable to trigger or tackle the problem encountered when they are in the company, and this can bring losses to the organization, and then they are unable to solve the issues critically. And next is the lack of student exposure. Since the fresh graduates is already lacking of exposure to the real job market, the unemployment rate will increase because they will feel that what's going to happen in their workplace, and so on. Next, I'll pass back to Kimberly.
Now I'm going to talk about the recommendation of the communication skills is that attend one Malaysia training scheme that enhance communication skills, listen to English speaking shows such as radio shows, TV shows, or video on YouTube. Next, the recommendation of technology skills is enhance technology skills by enrolling in technology classes, technical classes, workshop or seminar. Learning more software application that benefits, volunteer on technical projects, reading on more technological relating magazine and website. The next problem-solving skill of the recommendation of problem-solving skill is define the problem, suggest few ideas, implement action plan. Last but not least, lack of student exposure to the real job market is attending career talk, where students can choose their jobs wisely and get information from companies, and students also